on a day-to-day basis, like in my normal interactions with people, like there's no way anybody would know anything's wrong. And I feel totally fine when I'm not actually like gambling. But when I have these moments of weakness, it's always just by myself when I'm just feeling down or alone. It's just, it's not really me, you know?
Except it is. What up? What's up? What's up? This is John with the Dr. John Delony Show, and I think my voice just cracked because #puberty. Hey, dude, I'm so glad you are here. Talking about relationships, your mental health, your emotional health, whatever you got going on in your world. In a world gone BANANAS. I'm glad you're here. There's a trillion other podcasts. Rumor has it, this is the best one ever. Of course, it's a rumor. But I'm glad that you're here. And we cover the gamut. We talk about everything here. Your marriage, what's going on in your kids' schools, what's going on at work, what's going on in your dating relationships, what's going on inside your own heart and mind. If you want to be on the show, real people going through real challenges, give me a buzz at 1-844-693-3291. It's 1-844-693-3291. Or go to johndelony.com/ask. Please hit the subscribe button, especially if you're on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Our growth has been exponential. It's been amazing, and we want to keep it going. And if you're on podcast, please hit the download button. It makes such not the download button, the subscribe. Same thing. Keep it coming. Tell the internet overlords, just keep sending me this one. Appreciate y'all so much. Let's go out to Raleigh, North Carolina, and talk to Not So Plain Shane. What's up, Shane?
Hey, what's going on, John? How's it going?
We're partying, dude. What about you?
I'm doing all right. Thank you so much for having me on.
You bet. By the way, I'm not partying at all. It's like 11 o'clock on a Tuesday. No partying. What's up?
Man, John, my question for you is that my gambling addiction is just now kind of beginning to spiral. And I'm just ashamed of it, and I don't really know where to start, and I'm trying to figure out how I break the cycle.
Dude, awesome. Appreciate you calling.
Yeah.
How many times have you said that out loud, what you just said?
This is the first time. And yeah, I've never told anybody about it. It's been kind of just something that's been stewing just between me and me. And it's the first time I've said that out loud before.
I like that you called that out already. There's two different yous, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
And you're starting to lose control of the other one, aren't you?
Yeah, it's crazy because on a day-to-day basis, like just in my normal interactions with people, like there's no way anybody would know anything's wrong. And I feel totally fine when I'm not actually like gambling. But when I have these moments of weakness, it's always just by myself when I'm just feeling down or alone, and it's just, it's not really me, you know? So.
Except it is.
Right. Exactly.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a project manager.
Okay. Pretty successful? Yeah. You're good at it?
Yeah, I like to think so anyways.
Okay. That's often one of the other challenges is that you're good at one part of your life. In fact, you're probably really good at one part of your life. And you are absolutely out of control in another part of your life, and it's hard to reconcile the two. You start to feel crazy, right?
Yeah. It feels like there's no reason that this should be like happening to me. It's like I've had every opportunity afforded to me. I have great people around me, great friends. Like I can't point to like a single trigger or anything like that.
Okay.
And that's just why I feel like really ashamed about it.
So, I honor that, man. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to put aside the figure it out stuff for a while. You're a project manager. That's what you do. And so I'm going to ask you to not use the skill set that you were trained for professionally to solve this problem, okay?
Okay.
And what you're going to have to do is two things that probably are going to be really uncomfortable for you. 100% they're going to be uncomfortable, not probably. You're going to attack the behavior.
Okay.
I'm going to get rid of the internet in my house. I'm going to get rid of my phone.
Yeah.
Scorched earth, whatever you have to do. And the other thing you have to do is sit down with other people, real people in the real world, and say, my name is Shane and I'm out of control and I can't stop.
Yeah.
I don't know another path. What I do know is you trying to project manage this thing, is failing. It's not working.
Right.
Okay. How
Yeah,
deep
and
are you?
well, that's kind of the thing is like it hasn't gotten to the point where it's like completely consumed me or anything, and that's why I really want to try to nip it here.
Okay.
Like I'm still afloat, you know, but it's just been a thing that's followed me for the last really since college, like several years. And
So when you say you're an addict, what does that mean?
I mean, it's like it's a daily occurrence. Really, any time that I find myself alone, it's something that I am thinking about doing. I take comfort in it, and it's just like online gambling, basically.
Betting on sports. What are you betting on?
It's actually mostly like casino games,
Okay, sweet.
and slots and stuff. And I know a lot of my friends who've gotten into it too.
Okay, can't care about your friends at all right now. I care about my friend. I care about my friend Shane.
Yeah.
So step one, and this is going to sound radical, and people listening are going to drop into the show notes and put a bunch of nonsense. You have to commit right now. You're not going to read the comments. Fair? Cool?
Fair. Yeah.
Good.
Yes, sir.
By the end of today, I want you to have cashed out your entire Bitcoin purse, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Clear out your exchange. How much you have in the exchange right now?
I don't have anything in the exchange currently. I just buy and send it straight to the casino when I'm gambling. So
okay, what card do you use to buy?
it's either a debit card or a credit card.
Okay, I want you to cut the card up that you have connected automatic right now.
Okay. Yeah.
To where you can't use it.
I can do that. Yep.
Are you on your cell phone right now?
I am.
Okay, I'm gonna have to take your word for it. If I was there in person, I would make you pull your phone out and delete it all off the phone right now.
Okay. I can give you my word that I will do it.
Okay. And what we're doing here is we're the alcoholic, and we're pouring all of the alcohol down the drain right now. That's just, you got to get it out of your house before you do anything else.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you say you're not down any, you're still up. Tell me about that.
Well, when I say afloat, I mean I'm like just treading water, basically. Like I don't owe anybody any money, but I'm not saving any money or doing well for myself at all either. And it is the fault of the gambling. Like I have dreams to buy a house someday, and it's not something that's going to be able to happen if I keep doing this.
Okay. How have you tried to stop in the past?
A lot of ways. You know, you self-exclude, you delete the accounts. I usually what helps me for stopping is I just like run out of available cash, and I almost feel relieved once that happens. And every time it's like I'll stop for a week or two and feel pretty good about it, but then I get comfortable again. I start making money again, and then the money starts going away again.
Okay, here's my question: when you take 2 weeks off, and then you pick your phone up, and you have to log back in.
Yeah.
What is going on in that moment when you blow past everything and you log back in?
It's just like it does feel like a withdrawal in a lot of ways.
No, but something pushes it. Is it an annoying email at work? Is it boredom? Is it just habit? Like, so for instance, I started tracking, why do I keep grabbing junk food? There was two things. One, if I was heading to a meeting that I knew was going to be combative, or if I just received some feedback, even if it was from good-natured, but if it was just showing I had a deficiency. Hey, I watched your talk the other day. You were standing like this again. Make sure you do this next time. Or, hey, John, you were late to this thing. It was just a way. My body floods itself, and it was a way for me to numb out that flood. So have you identified? And the other one was, it was just there. It was always just right by my desk. There's this woman who always has this candy right by my desk. I just grab it when I walk. It's just mindless. What is yours? Why do you log back in? There's got to be a triggering moment there.
I think it's kind of both. Like it is always there. Like I live by myself. My computer's always just sitting there looking at me if I'm not actively doing something. But certainly if I have a negative emotion, a bad day, a difficult conversation with somebody from work or with a family member or something, it certainly inspires me to go to the computer.
Okay. So it's a cigarette or it's a Xanax.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a numbing agent. It just is going to end up costing you everything.
Right.
Have you ever been tempted, or have you taken out money yet? Beyond the cash you have?
Outside of like, I have used the credit card before,
Okay.
and like I'm still, paying those off. Like,
Okay, so
slowly.
you're not net neutral.
Right.
How much are you down?
I'm basically breaking even every month. Like I get my paycheck, I pay off the credit cards, and then restart.
So you lose every month a couple $1,000. You get just enough money because you're making a good salary, but you're by yourself, and so you can pay off a couple grand every month.
Exactly. Right.
How long you been doing this?
Well, that's the thing, is it's been kind of involved in my life in one way or another for several years now. I grew up around it. I grew up even just in little ways gambling, like whether it's with my friends and poker nights or on the golf course or whatever. But really, it's been bad since for the last maybe 4 years or so, 3 or 4 years.
Okay, $2,000 a month, 3,000. How much?
I'd say 1,000 to 2,000 a month.
All right, let's do 2 because it makes the math more sensational.
Sure.
It's 24,000 times 4, so we'll round up. It's 100 grand.
Yeah.
That's a house payment. I mean, a house down payment, right?
Yeah.
That's a car and your kids' first 2 years of college.
Yeah, and it's crazy when you frame it like that, because like the $50 to $100 a day, it doesn't feel like it.
That's right.
And it adds up like that. It's just insane.
Yeah, and I bet you just lowballed me too.
I think it's a pretty fair number, but sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. I wish there was another path forward, but you're going to have to decide that this ends.
Yeah.
And God bless you, dude. The number of people I talk to on a regular basis on the radio show that I co-host that are 200 in, 300 in, 500 in. You're just 100 down and you've been able to float it because you're single and you have a good job.
Mm-hmm.
But you're one bad loss away from needing to borrow some, and then that's going to carry over, and then suddenly, here we go. We're off to the races. And you know that. That's why you called, right?
That's why I'm here. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. When we get off this phone, you got to delete the apps off your phone. It may be that you have a friend or a family member that you can call, and actually, I want you to do 3 things, okay?
Okay.
Actually, 3 things to start, and then I'm going to add a 4th. Thing number 1, as soon as we get off this call, you're deleting all the apps.
Okay.
Thing number 2, you're calling all 3 credit reporting agencies, Experian, what are the other ones, Kelly? That's off the top of my head.
Equifax and
Transatlantic or whatever.
I can't remember what the third one is.
You can call them and you can put a break on your credit where you can't borrow.
Okay.
Can't take anything out.
TransUnion,
that's right. The part 2 of that, I want you to call and cancel all your credit cards. And I don't give a crap about your credit worthiness right now. Okay?
Yeah.
And here's what we're doing. We're just getting rid of all the bottles out of your house. The third thing is I want you to call a friend or a family member that you trust and say, I'm not all right. I'm getting over my head.
Yeah.
Do you have somebody you can call?
I do. It's gonna be hard, but I know. You're right. I need to.
Is it somebody you can meet with in person?
Yes.
Who is it?
My sister.
Okay. She's safe?
Yes.
She won't beat you up? She'll sit with you?
She'll sit with me.
Okay. The final thing is, before the day is over, you make a call and you find out where the meeting in your local area is, and you go tomorrow morning. And that's a full stop. You got to. When you find yourself lying, when you find yourself thinking about all the time, when you find yourself making these big sweeping commitments and promises and you can't keep promises to yourself, I want to stop. And it keeps showing up and it keeps showing up and it keeps showing up. And you can't project manage your way out of it. Sit down across from somebody and say, my name's Shane and I'm over my head and I can't stop. And we're going to walk alongside people. And it may end up, I'm going to turn the internet off on my house. It may end up, I'm going to give a family member, a friend, a bank code so I can't get on my online bank and move stuff around without this code. And they're going to put it in for me. So I got to run expenses by. That's so much. It's ridiculous. You sit with somebody who's burned through $500,000 and they're about to retire and they have nothing, and there is no such thing as that's too much. You do whatever it takes. Shane, I'm proud of you. My guess is you got some stuff going back, and my guess is you're real lonely. You're real successful, and you're going home to an empty apartment every day, and it's lonely. It's hard. So your adventure here is going to be to find some friends, find some community, find some people to do life with, and it gives you an emergency fund for your life. Let your body rest. Whew. And that way when that boss says, hey, you didn't do this right, or that customer says you didn't do this right, that's fine. Like, I may not have done that job with excellence, but I'm still a person of dignity, right? Those don't get all mushed together. Proud of you, man. Appreciate you making the call. And I'm going to send you a copy of Building a Non-Anxious Life. It's not about addiction per se, but it is about creating a world where your body's got margin to exist in. And often it allows you to build that mindfulness gap before you reach for the thing that's trying to wallpaper over the feelings and emotions that you have. Proud of you, dude. Now the ball's in your court, man. It's your shot. We'll be right back. Hey, you know this and I know this. We are heading into the season of chaos. It's summertime, driving, bored kids, travel plans, camps, extra yard work every weekend. Can I have a snack? Can I have a snack? Can I have a snack? All these sports, so much going on. And it's important right now that you make concrete plans to keep doing the things you normally do when your routine is a little bit tighter to keep you spiritually plugged in, well, and whole. And for me, and hopefully for you, Hallow will continue to be my go-to app for prayer and relationships to God, connections, especially as things get bonkers. Hallow is an app that's easy to download, and it has daily prayers, lecture series, meditations, music, stories, nighttime sleep programs, and more. And this summer, they've even added some radio stations for those long family drives, and they've added spiritual classic audiobooks for fellow nerds like me who like to drive or mow or clean and read a book at the same time. Additionally, this June, Hallow is launching their summer Bible study on the Gospel of John, and you can join biblical scholar Jeff Cavins and Jonathan Rumi, who portrays Jesus in The Chosen, in this transformational Bible study. Because you are a Dr. John Delony Show listener, you can try all of this out for 3 months for free. That's basically the whole summer. Why would you not give it a shot? Go to hallow.com/Delony today for 3 free months. That's hallow.com, HALLOW.com/Delony. All right, let's go out to Dayton, Ohio and talk to, my Michelle. What's up, Michelle?
Hi, Dr. John. How are you?
Excellent. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for taking my call, and thank you for writing that book, How to Build a Non-Anxious Life. It is an amazing book.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm really grateful that you found some usefulness with it. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. I did. I brought it to the Total Money Makeover event last year. You signed it, and I've read it quite often since then.
Very cool. That's awesome. Well, how can I help?
Sir. How do I support my children? Alcohol is freely open and available at their dad's house when they go to visitation, when they go to visit him. 2 of my children are underage, and it's freely there. It's, hey, let's do Jell-O shots before the kid's birthday party. Hey, let's do margaritas with dinner or whatever. What else? It's freely available. How do I support my children as they're walking through this?
How old are your kids?
17, 19, and 21.
Gosh, that's so lame. Not you. It's just so lame that an adult needs the approval of a 17-year-old by doing Jell-O shots. It's just so lame. It's embarrassing for adults everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Golly,
I agree.
Dude. And here, you can probably hear it. I get very few things I just get mad about. And I get insta-pissed about this because for 20 years, I worked at the university where that 17-year-old rolls in and is devastated. And is trying to navigate life with parents who it just sucks, man. I hate this for you. All right, so I'm going to be annoying. Oh, let me just back up. What have you tried so far?
Well, there's been several conversations about it. Normally, I'm just trying to support them. To my knowledge, they've never brought anything to me where they've caved. It's just out there and it's available. one of my daughters did come to me around the Father's Day timeframe in 2023, felt like their dad had an alcohol problem.
No, really? Jeez.
I know. Alcohol was never available in the house growing up. They never saw it. It was not readily available. Their grandfathers on their dad's side were both alcoholics. Therefore, that was something that they were sensitive to. We didn't keep alcohol in the house. That's changed since we're divorced and he's gotten remarried, readily available in their house. So I'm just trying to support my daughters, listen to them, talk through the issues that they're facing, and be the voice and the sounding board that they can come to.
So there comes a moment when he stops being your ex-husband and he becomes an adult male who's offering your teen children alcohol.
Yes, sir.
Have you reached out to him?
I have not.
Why not? And that might not be safe. It might just be a war. Like, why haven't you reached out to him and say, if you offer alcohol, well, number one, I think legally, depending on where you are, he might be allowed to. You can have alcohol underage if there's a parent present in restaurants in certain states, and so it just depends. Why haven't you reached out to him yet and said stop?
I don't think the conversation would go very well.
Okay.
We're co-parents to the children.
Mm-hmm.
We live a good distance apart from one another, so there's very little interaction. He stopped reaching out and asking for the youngest, who is under, the visitation rules as of now. She graduates from high school in 2 weeks. And so there's little interaction in that way. I know he would support his new wife, and she's the main one that I hear the stories about. And I know that I'm just the ex-wife.
You're the mother of these children.
Yes, sir, I am.
Right. You're the one that will be burying the 19-year-old if she succumbs to her dad's peer pressure, like every 19-year-old on the planet does, and has 6 Jell-O shots and decides to drive home.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, I get over sensationalized about this stuff because I've buried kids. I've had to call their parents and say, your kid's not alive anymore. And so my bell curve is so shifted from, it'll be fine. Statistically speaking, it will probably be fine.
Yeah.
Your daughters are getting a ringside seat to an out-of-control parent and a not out-of-control parent. And I hate that for them. That's the world it's the world they live in, right?
Yes, sir.
And
I hate that as well, too.
I know. You didn't draw this up, and you're probably still grieving this.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I told my kids at an early age, your parents are weird, and your dad's unfortunately walked with a lot of teenagers and young adults. And so I have some pretty firm boundaries where other parents who don't have to talk to a parent and say, hey, your child's not with us anymore, might have different boundaries. Fine. I would just blow every whistle I have. It's if you offer my daughter alcohol again, I'm going to call who I have to call. And in Ohio, it might not, maybe calling Child Protective Services does nothing. And maybe it's just a matter of telling your daughters, I'm going to ask y'all to be strong here. Or it's also
we have had that conversation.
Okay, and it's also okay to say, I 100% disagree with what your dad is doing. I think it's wrong, and I think it's not right. Right? Like it's wrong, like legally, and it's not right morally, ethically. You get what I'm saying? And that's different than saying he sucks and he's a piece of crap, because then by proxy you're telling them that half of them is sucks and is a piece of crap. But you are more than welcome to tell a 17-year-old your dad is not making a good choice.
Those are the conversations that we've had when supporting them.
Good. Good.
Stay strong. You guys are smart. You can do this.
Right.
I'm not saying there's not a bottle of wine at my house. I think it was given as a gift or something like that.
That's totally fine.
It's not something they're presented with it at my house, and I support them in their tough struggles when they go over there.
Yes.
It's not easy.
But,
and there's also a 1-year-old and 3-year-old at the house as well too.
Because why not? Right.
Exactly.
Here's the other thing. Here's a fine line. It's very hard with a 17-year-old. and a 17-year-old, 18, 19-year-old, this is a very mature conversation. Both and is a tough concept for adults to grasp, much less 19-year-olds. Okay, even though they're technically classified as an adult.
Yeah.
But you have to walk a thin line between saying it's against the law, it's not smart, and it's not safe, and I hate this is happening. I hate your dad and your stepmom is putting you in this position. And if I ever need to come get you, I will come get you, no questions asked.
Yes.
Because I don't.
Know that.
Okay, good.
I'll even drive the almost 3 hours.
I'll drive 3 hours. I'll come get you. I'll get an Uber to come get you and take you to a hotel, and I'll come pick you up. I will come get you, and I will not be mad. There's an adult in their life called dad who's offering this to him, right? And so beating up a 17-year-old for doing what dad said is tough, right? It's a tough.
Very.
It just sucks. I won't get mad. I'll be sad. I'll be heartbroken because I want you to be safe, but I love you, and I'm going to come get you. And I'll drive you home, and we'll listen to whatever music you want to hear. Like, they need to know, please don't do this, and I'm never going to leave you isolated. I don't want you ever to be scared to call me. And that's a tricky thing because for some 18-year-olds, you're like, oh, sweet, cool. And for other 18-year-olds, it's, oh, thank God, right?
Yes, exactly.
It's, whew. Ugh. So, yeah, I don't know the legalities of Dayton. And again, 17, 18, 19, CPS maybe so, Child Protective Services, whatever they're called in your area, might be so overwhelmed. They're like, yeah, we're not going to deal with that. We have too many 7-year-olds being abused right now for our caseloads. Again, I operate in a world where I wish adults would act like adults, and you could pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, our 17-year-old and our 19-year-old are uncomfortable that your new wife keeps offering them Jell-O shots before a child's birthday. Please don't offer the kids alcohol until they're 21. But I also know that there are adults that will then get mad at the 19-year-old. You told your mom, I can't believe, dude. I thought. So I get it. It just stinks. So making sure your daughters know they can always call. There's never a moment they can't call. You will figure out a way to get them out of a situation. If they need a driver, they need whatever. Here's an Uber card. You always have it. And I'm going to do whatever I can to keep my kids safe. And even if I look like a jerk doing it. I hate that you're in this situation, Michelle. I hate it. It sounds like you're handling it the best you can, the tools you got. And with the emotionally immature husband and new wife. Adults, if you ever find yourself having to try to be cool to impress a teenager, stop. It's embarrassing. You're the adult. You're not supposed to be cool to a 17-year-old or a 19-year-old. My God, quit. You're the adult. Stop. Jeez Louise, you're going to get somebody killed. Thanks for the call, Michelle. I wish I had better, just do this, but this one's messy. Sheesh. We'll be right back. I love my Helix mattresses. Helix has been awarded the #1 mattress by GQ, by Wired Magazine, and more. It's even recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine as a go-to solution for improving your sleep. I got a Helix mattress for my bedroom, as well as the super atomic mattress topper that makes me feel like I'm sleeping in heaven. And I got Helix mattresses for both of my kids, for the guest room where people come stay with us for days and weeks on end. I love Helix. And you and I both know that a bad, old, hand-me-down mattress makes sleep almost impossible. And we both know that an amazing mattress can transform your sleep and help you become the parent, sibling, child, and coworker that the world needs you to be. Helix is that amazing mattress. So, how will you know which Helix mattress works best for you and your body? You just get online, take the Helix Sleep Quiz, and you can find the perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. They ship it right to your house, and you can try it out for 100 days risk-free. Every Helix mattress has a hybrid design, combining individually wrapped steel coils in the base with premium foam layers on top. And they have something for everyone, big and tall, hot and cold sleepers, kids, soft, medium, and hard mattress lovers, and more. Helix dials it in just for you. It's the perfect combination of comfort and support. And the summertime sale for Dr. John Delony Show listeners is going on right now. They are hooking you up with 20% off all mattresses and 2 free pillows. Go to helixsleep.com/Delony right now. That's helixsleep.com. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts right now. All right, let's roll out to Baltimore and talk to Maria. Hey, Maria.
Hi, Dr. John. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Of course. What's up?
So my husband and I have been married for 3 years. It's been a very challenging 3 years, but we just had a son who's about a month and a half. And my husband expressed interest of being a stay-at-home parent. And I'm just wondering, if this is the right decision for us financially, for the development of our child, and for our
you don't
marriage.
respect your husband. Why not? I can hear it. You're trying hard. Just say it.
Oh my gosh! He.
Hold on, Maria.
Yes.
We are in a everything's got to be delicate world, and you're not allowed to just say things because I don't want to sound like we have to blow by all of the things you're supposed to say and not say, get right down to your guts. I can hear it in the way you're dancing around this. I've talked to too many wives who don't respect their husbands. You don't respect this dude. Why?
I just don't think he's worked really hard for something he really wants until our son came along.
Okay. Stop right there. Have you ever said that out loud before?
No.
Okay. Thank you for saying it. You're going to feel a weird mix of guilt and powerful relief that you put out into the universe, okay?
Yeah.
3 years it's been hard. In 3 years do you work full time?
I do. I work from home, and we've had a lot of fun coming up until we got married because life just through some really tough challenges. We lost a child at 30 weeks of our pregnancy. We moved to a place where we didn't have we didn't know anybody, and we bought a house. So lots of change within the short period of time. Yeah. And now we have another big life event, which is our son. And, I remember asking my husband when we were dating of what do you want most out of your life? And he said he wants a family. And my gut says, let's do it. Let's have him be a stay-at-home parent. And I do work full-time and I do work from home. So we'll be around each other a lot. But I'm scared. I'm really scared.
How far along are you right now?
We're a month. Well, he's here. He's here. We made it.
Okay.
He's a month and a half old. And my husband was only able to stay home for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm still on maternity leave. So I've been with my baby practically 24/7.
If you could snap your fingers and stay at home forever, would you? Or can you not wait to get back to the office?
I love my job.
Okay.
I have dreamt for the job that I have, and I love my son, and I don't want to be stuck having to choose a career over my son because my son's going to win, but we still need money, right?
Right.
My husband, on the other hand, has a love-hate relationship with his job, and he is very in love with my son. Well, our son. Very in love with our son. And so I think it would be a very easy transition for him. That does put a lot more responsibility on me in terms of financial and being the breadwinner and being able to manage that.
Can I tell you what I think's at the root of some of this?
Yeah.
And what I'm going to say is going to get a bunch of mean comments on the internets, and I'm okay with that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't. It's fine.
But mean internet commenters, direct these at me, not at Maria. Okay. Here's what I think. I think y'all are both feeling the reverse of what the world has said. Here's what I mean. There's a lot of talk out in the world, and I'm surrounded by powerful, both academic feminists and employment feminists. That's the world I've inhabited for 20 years, okay? But there's a particular pitch that I want X, Y, and Z responsibilities, professional, etc. And you are feeling the weight of the household now that has been largely ignored by from men for all these years. Like, they just do this, they just go to work. And there's this, oh my God, you carry the whole thing, right? It's heavy. And on the other side, your husband thinks this is just going to be easier than working. And he is nuts. Right?
Yeah. I kindly remind him of, hey, if you stay home, you're going to feel a whole different type of exhaustion. You're going to feel a whole different type of emotion that you never thought you had.
Here's what I think you're scared of, Maria. And if this is what you're feeling, I think you're right, because this is what I'm feeling. I think you know as well as I do, you're going to be a full-time mom and a full-time employee at home.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't work. He's always complaining about things when they get tired, or they get hard, or they get heavy. And he thinks he's going to get to just hug his little baby. And it's a ton of work. And if he's staying at home and you're carrying the entire house on your back, then he's got to clean the toilets and take out trash and clean dishes and make meals.
Yeah, the good thing is he does some of that already.
Yeah, I know, but not all at the same time.
Sorry. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then here's the deal: in 3 months, it's like, well, this is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then what are you gonna do?
Yeah, and we are meeting a nanny this afternoon to kind of to see what her to meet her and interview her. But essentially, his salary would be paying for her to be in the house.
That's because, hold on, what does he do for a living?
He's in construction. We'll just leave it as construction. So he works anywhere. He'll leave like 30 in the morning, and sometimes he doesn't come until like 7 o'clock at night. So he works really long hours, and he's very exhausted when he gets home. So right now, I mean, everything's so fresh. Our son's only a month and a half, but when I need a break when he comes home, he doesn't also just have the energy. So he tries, he'll like suck it up so I can take like an hour to 2 hour power nap. But I also don't think that's fair for our son or for the both of us, because I get it. We're managing, and we've been very kind to each other throughout this process. Even when I'm a little bit more fire and he's a little bit more water, but even in those moments I'm really heated just because I'm so exhausted. He's just so kind to me, and so it really brings me down to be the same to him. And our son will benefit from it, because when we take a moment, we can then like breathe, care for our son, and move on and make it through.
Hey, Maria,
so,
Maria.
Yeah.
Your kid's gonna be okay. For real. Stop for a second, okay? You're a good mom, and your kid's gonna be okay.
I was not anticipating to be so emotional,
Maria.
Dr. Don.
Maria, your kid's going to be okay. All right? And I think y'all are being really nice to each other. I don't think you're being very kind, because kind is about clarity and clearness. And you're 1 month into having your entire world blown up. You're supposed to be tired. You're supposed to be snappy. And you're supposed to not know what day it is. Okay? All that's normal. And I take back what I said about your husband. It doesn't sound like he's lazy. It sounds like he works 14 hours a day.
Yeah, he is a true hard worker.
Okay, well, I take that back. I suck for saying that. That was wrong.
It's okay.
And there's something about coming home and collapsing on the floor and having a newborn babble around and pluck your hair while you're just in that staggered state of, I just got home from working a 14-hour shift and there's a newborn here and my wife just passed out of sleep standing up, right? That's life with a newborn. You guys relax. You're trying to over-engineer this thing. Y'all are okay. Baby's going to be fine. Baby's going to be okay.
I mean, it was a challenge for him to be here.
Hey, it's a challenge for everybody. Okay? And if you can't wait to get back to this work, you're not a bad mom. And if you, a month from now, are like, I cannot hand my baby to a nanny, and I don't want to hand this baby off to my husband, you're not a terrible woman of the 21st century. You're a mom. You get to do whatever you want. Okay? And if you don't respect your husband, he already knows it. He feels it.
Mm.
And he has for 3 years.
Mm.
And so if it's time for y'all to have a hard conversation about, hey, I know you like your job or you don't love your job, the time to do something different is right now. So yeah, you can stay at home with baby, and you're also going to get another degree, or you're going to get training, or you're going to whatever you got to do. But it sounds like the way you explained it, he more wants to not do what he's doing than he does, like, wants to dedicate his life to being the best stay-at-home dad. If he wants to be the best stay-at-home dad, awesome. You just have to count that cost. And it sounds like maybe if he can work 12-hour shifts every day or 16-hour shifts of manual labor, man, maybe he will be able to pull it off.
Yeah, he's very confident, and I think it's more me than it is him.
Okay.
And I think I need to trust him. And
is he trustworthy?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely. So I think it's more me than it is him.
Here's what I want you to reconcile with, and this is just a conversation you can both have together. Okay. By the way, don't tell me your husband's name. I'm going to call him Dan. Hey, Dan, I said mean things about you early in this call, and I take it back. Sounds like you're a pretty great guy.
He's so wonderful,
That's
Dr.
on me.
John. He really is.
Dan, you're a great guy. Don't come up here and kill me. All right, so it sounds like you're trying to hold on to your life, your previous life, and add a baby to it. The life that you had is now officially over. And that's both something to grieve and also pretty amazing, because now you get to build whatever you want to next. But if you go down to one income and you had a child and you decide to be the breadwinner, that's just a different weight. It's heavy. And it's going to look different than probably you drew it up. And you might not be able to drive car X, or y'all may have to turn the thermostat up 2 degrees, and it's not going to be perfectly comfortable because the electric bill got expensive. Or he may have to be a full-time dad Monday through Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday, he's got to go work part-time somewhere. Y'all got to figure some things out, right? Your old life is going to look different than your new life. It's when you try to drag old life into new life, it just gets into be a jumbled mess. And so sitting down together and saying, okay, what we had is over. Now we have this beautiful little baby boy, and we're about to blow the whole thing up. What does that mean financially? What does that mean relationally? What does that mean with everything? And by the way, 1 month is not the time to have this conversation. Right?
Got it.
1 month is time to survive.
Got it.
If your husband was to quit his job and be a stay-at-home dad for 1 month and hated it and the whole house imploded, could he go back and get that job back?
Absolutely. They would love to have him back.
Okay. Then take it 30 days at a time. Take it 60 days at a time. We're going to try this for 3 months.
That makes sense.
And then if it doesn't work, we go, cool, that didn't work. That didn't work. Right?
I think this is the most kind of validation I've had, because I've talked with my friends, and everyone's like, oh, you have to figure out what's right for you. And I'm like, but I don't know what's right for me. I don't know what's right for us.
Figure out what's right for 90 days. It feels like every decision is the rest of your life. You're a good mom and he's a good dad. Your kid's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you read books to your kid and make sure you feed them. They will be okay.
Will do.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's one of my great privileges in my life to talk to you.
Thank you. Yeah,
okay.
I was really pleasantly surprised that I was able to get on this show.
No, it's awesome. Just know that silent weight of generations of men living quiet lives of desperation, a lot of that originates in carrying the weight of a household and having nobody to do life with. Carrying a house is heavy, and it's an unspoken weight. The same as, but different, taking care of a human being is heavy. It's exhausting. There's so much into it.
Yeah.
It's every second, right?
Yeah.
It's all of it.
And this tiny little person needs you.
Yes.
Depends on you.
And you figure that out when, like, they have to eat. You figure it out when you have to go to the bathroom. And you're like, oh, guess you're coming in here with me, right? I guess you're going to watch because I got to go, right? It never stops. It's all of it.
Right. And we have animals, so it's like not just babies, it's the animals.
Of course you do, Maria, because you're like, you know what? How can we complicate this further?
Yeah.
It's both of you deciding what kind of world do we want to build together? And then what do we got to do to make this world a reality? And let's give it a shot for 90 days. There's nothing we can't take back. And if he's a skilled craftsman, if he's a construction guy, if he's good at, I don't know, cabinetry or tile or roofing, or he's a project manager and he can step in and out, dude, perfect. And there's going to be some reality adjustments with your budget. There's going to be some reality adjustments with the life y'all are used to because it's different. You got a human in there. And you, being the sole breadwinner, you're just going to feel like that squat bar. It's whoosh, it gets heavy. And you're going to have friends. And you're going to leave the house because if you find yourself 9 months from now and all you do is sit inside the house and work inside the house and then have kid inside the house and then be married inside the house, you're going to go stone mad. You got to have friends to go visit and go see. You got to learn how to play golf or go have drinks with have nachos, whatever. You got to go be with people that'll help you carry the load. And then he's going to go from being a construction guy to a stay-at-home dad, which is kind of amazing. And if he loves it, awesome. And if he hates it, awesome. We'll figure it out then. 2 to 3 months at a time. There's no take-backs. I mean, there's no not take-backs. You can take back whatever you want. You can change. It's good. I'm proud of you, Maria. You're a good mom. You're a good mom. I'm going to send you Building a Non-Anxious Life. I want y'all to use that as your roadmap. Hang on the line. It'll be my gift to you, your new baby gift. And again, tell your husband, give him a big hug. I was going to say a kiss on the neck, but that'd probably be too much from a stranger like me. Just give him a hug. Tell him he's doing a good job. We'll be right back. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. How are we almost halfway done with the year already? 2024 is flying by. So let me ask you something. What's something you're really proud of so far this year? What's something you are still wishing you could change direction on? Is there something that's still haunting you, not including the upcoming presidential election, that you are realizing you need help in overcoming? As we get older, life picks up steam and moves so fast, and it's important to take a moment to celebrate your wins, and it's also important to make adjustments for the rest of the year. Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the next 6 months and beyond. Therapy is a safe, effective place to get things off your chest, to learn how to say scary and hard things out loud, to figure out what you're doing well and what you need to work on and how to get there. Personally, I see a great therapist. I've been blessed by a great therapist, and I need someone to help sit as an eye in the sky and help me plan to change things and then go make it happen. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's convenient. It's flexible. You can do it wherever it meets your schedule. You just get online, fill out a brief questionnaire. You get matched with a licensed therapist. You can switch therapists at any time, and they don't charge you any extra money. If you're ready to be incredibly intentional for the rest of 2024, join BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Delony today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Delony. All right, am I the problem, Kelly? Let's do it.
You ask me that almost every episode, and the answer's still yes, by the way.
Agree or disagree?
All right. This is from Lauren in Pennsylvania. I'm a stay-at-home mom of a 5- and 3-year-old and homeschooling my oldest. My husband and I are slowly working through baby step 2 with almost no margin. We are finally at a place where we are not drowning financially. When I express the want for regular date nights, he looks hurt and asks if I'll ever be satisfied or content. He works a lot because we couldn't survive unless he does. I consistently feel disconnected from him and drowning in motherhood. I feel like I'm raising our children by myself. Am I being selfish for wanting to sneak away and reconnect without our kids running between us? He says that he would also like to go on date nights, but seems relieved when we can't make it happen financially.
I don't think anybody's the problem here. I think it's just a lot.
Totally agree.
Just a lot. We're trying to get into a safe place financially. We got 3 kids, running always at the house. Mom's lonely, dad's exhausted, and yeah, when it's framed as I need a date night, that goes into it's another chore for him. It's another shift versus, hey, honey, I want you. I miss you and I want to be with you. That's a totally different proposition. Ugh.
And would it help maybe if they could, could they get someone to watch the kids, family member, whatever, and then do something free or really cheap?
Yeah.
Go to the park and walk around. I mean, there's a million free date things you can do. Would that take some of the pressure off if he didn't feel like, I have to work so many hours just for us to do this date night thing?
Well, it would be awesome if money wasn't an object and he got to really focus on constructing romance. She's curating the lives of these kids every day. She's doing homeschooling, mothering, all that full-time stuff. It's chaos everywhere. It'd be really awesome if he made a phone call to get a babysitter and he made dinner reservations or just went to go play at a park, go walk around the park together. That would be awesome. And he's working 20 hours a day. He sleeps 4 hours a night to try to keep his family afloat. And he's looking at the same. So somebody has to say, I'll make that call. Right? Ugh. It's hard. And when you don't have any money, you really find yourself in a place like, I'll trade with, like, can we trade?
Yeah, I'll watch your kids this weekend if you'll watch mine next weekend.
That's right.
But yeah, neither of them are wrong. They're just tired and done,
Yeah.
and they just need to probably have a conversation.
Yeah, that goes back to the choose reality. Here's the world we're in right now, and here's what I want. I miss you. I miss you. I want you. I desire you. In the pockets of time, of money, what does connection look like right now? And it's not going to be this way forever, but for 6 months, it's going to be kind of like this. And then what if you took one night off from Ubering after you got done with your full-time job? We just went for a walk in the park and held hands and made out in the car. We do that, right? Like, let's just slowly figure out these little pockets of reconnection. Be intentional about it. Put it on the calendar. And it's not what Hollywood drew up, but it sure is awesome. Sure is awesome. All right. Love you guys. Stay in school. Be nice to each other. Bye.